So I'm calling your church to test to see if they would help feed a starving baby. And right now I'm calling Cathedral of the Rockies. So I'm calling your church to test to see if they would help feed a starving baby. And right now I'm calling the church in Boise. So I'm calling your church to test if they would feed a starving baby. And right now we are calling the First Baptist Church. So I'm calling your church to test to see if they'd feed a starving baby. And right now I'm calling West End Baptist Church. So I'm calling your church to test to see if they would help feed a starving baby. So I'm calling your church to test to see if they would help feed a hungry baby.
I don't cuss. But if I did, this would be the right time. There was a young lady, I think her name is Nicolette. I hope I'm saying her name right, but I don't even know if she's a Christian or not. Maybe she's just trying to do this to set out to expose people. She said that her videos have gone viral. She went from 300 or so followers, whatever you call it, on TikTok to over 300,000 or 300,000 or something like that. I don't know what her angle is, what the rationale is, but I'm glad she did it. I am so glad she did it, and I hope that other churches recognize what she's doing. They should be put on blast. What she's doing, she's calling around asking churches to see who really is godly, who is, and you know what? Good for her. I love her. I don't know what it. I hope that other churches. That, by the way, some churches did pass the test. A lot didn't. Most of them didn't. But listen to this. This bothered me. Just to hear this. This bothered me.
So I'm going to be attempting to call the East Somerset Baptist Church. I tried to call there earlier, right at 9 o'clock. It was like 9:03, and they were not answering yet. So we are going to try them again and see if they answer.
Good morning, East Somerset Baptist Church.
Hi, yes. I was calling to see if you all were able to help. I have a baby and I do not have formula for the week for her, and I was wanting to see if you all were able to help.
They stopped doing anything out of the church office about 2 years ago. We give to some places in town that, might be able to help you, like God's Food Pantry or Perm, but they don't do anything out of the church.
Now, by the way, we're going to listen to all of this, about 2 or 3 minutes of these, so it might make your blood boil. It might bother, but it also is going to cause you to make sure that you are not like them, because don't turn around and get upset with these churches if you're the same way. All right, so let's go back to it.
Church office.
Okay, so y'all don't do anything to help?
Not directly out of the office, no.
What does it mean when you say directly out of the office?
I mean that we give like some of our missions budget to places in town for that kind of a thing. Like to AIM, like sometimes AIM.
It might come across as a little cold, crass. We don't do that. We pay other people to do that for us. I do understand why churches do that. Now, listen, ladies and gentlemen, there are churches that get scammed a lot. Someone will show up and, hey, my family's getting put out. We need this, we need that. And they don't care. People don't care who they scam. I get it. And so churches want to be cautious, and you want to make sure that if you give money to people who are actually in need versus someone who is scamming or use for drugs or what have you. And so nowadays churches will send the money directly to the utility company or to pay the rent, or directly to the people. Or they might even, some churches will take you shopping or have a food pantry there, which, by the way, that's the point of, that's what you're supposed to be doing. I understand even having it for members first, but there are people out there who are in need. And so we don't just deal with just the members, but there could be some little apprehension on their part. So that's why they, we send money other places to have and send people there to have them being taken care of. But if you're sending money or giving donations elsewhere, so that when people come in, they have some place to go to, you want to make sure they can handle it, they can take care of that also. That if Mary comes in, that we send her there, we know that Mary's going to be taken care of, because that's why we're also giving our money to them as well.
AIM can help, or First Choice Clinic, we give to them.
Okay, thank you.
And before we continue, how does that make you feel? That bothers me. Because she said she wanted some formula. This bothers me. Yeah, she is pretending, but they don't know that. So a woman calls who says her child is hungry, a baby is hungry, and just needs some formula for a day or a couple of days, just some formula. If it was your baby, would you hope that somebody would be there to help your child or your grandchild, teacher, which is the greatest commandment in the law? And he said to him, you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind. If you don't love each other, the second is like it, you shall love your neighbor as yourself. On these two commandments depend the whole law and the prophets. You all want to be well at keeping the law, keeping the 10 commandments. Well, everything that's written from Genesis to Malachi is contained in that. As a matter of fact, not only that, but even after the cross, everything is contained in that. You don't love people enough, really. You don't love enough to come out of your pocket.
Victor Christian Fellowship. This is Rebecca. How can I help you?
Hi, yes, I'm calling to see if you all could help me at all. I'm a single mom and I work, but I have a 2-month-old baby and I've ran out of formula last night. And I've been calling everywhere today trying to see if somebody could help with formula. Could y'all help get me formula for her?
Let me see if I can connect you with one of our pastors. I'm not sure, but let me just see.
Okay.
All right. He mentioned First Choice. Have you called there?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Or the health department?
Yeah, I've called everywhere that I can think of, and everybody's telling me to call churches and see if any churches can help.
Imagine being the pastor and hearing that there's a 2-month-old baby that's hungry. Let me see if I can find somebody else to do for you what I could do. Need some formula. What does formula cost? You know what? I didn't think to do this. Let me just go online. Baby formula. Let's just type it in. Baby formula. And I don't know. I'll just go to Amazon. I'm pretty sure it's going to be about the same when you go to grocery stores. I don't know. $29, $21, this is, $26, $38. Okay. So the point is, that's not a lot of money. It's not a lot of money. Pastor, why don't you go in your pocket? You know what? Patch her through to me. I'll see what I can do. Or how about this, receptionist? How about if the pastor couldn't find I'll do it. I'm gonna go out on a limb and assume that the people that are picking up phones have babies, have kids, or have had kids. I'm gonna assume that. I'm gonna assume they even know what a baby looks like. I'm just going to assume, and I'm also going to make the gigantic leap that they have a Bible. I'm gonna make the gigantic leap that they have had kids or know some kids and have read the Bible. Beloved, let us love one another, for love is from God. And everyone who loves his brother or who loves is born of God. The one who does not love does not know God. They might want to read their Bible.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm so sorry. We don't have any on hand. First Baptist Church.
Hi, yes. I was just curious if y'all helped at all because I have a 2-month-old baby and she's been without formula since last night. So she's very cranky and I've been calling everywhere all day long and I can't find anybody that can help.
No, we don't help with formula at all. Have you talked to anybody like at CCC?
Yeah, I've been calling everywhere all day.
Okay. How do you normally buy it?
What difference does it make how she normally buys it? She doesn't have, she's how she normally buys it is not how she can do it now. What do you normally do when you need help? This is again, I don't cuss. If I did, just be a good time. Don't you cuss. Don't you cuss. This is where you pray. You pray that you won't be found messing up like them. You don't want to be in the same position where someone says, you know what, I was just trying. I was just checking to see. I didn't have a need, but just wanted to see. Just wanted to see. That's all. So how about what James says? Here's a good example, by the way. What use is it, my brethren, if someone says he has faith, but he has no works? Well, what do you mean? Well, because if you have faith, that means you are a born again believer, true believer. Your heart has been changed. And what do you have? You have love. So here's how that love shows up. It shows in doing things for people. Can that faith save him? If a brother or sister is without clothing and in need of daily food, and one of you says to them, go in peace, or go to the health department, or go over there. We don't do that. Go in peace, be warmed, be filled. and yet does not give them what is necessary for their body, what use is that? What use is that kind of faith? Your faith, that kind of faith, now we see it, that kind of faith that we're talking about, that we're seeing on display, that's dead faith.
Normally, I've been working, but I was let off, and so I've not had to work this week, and I had just enough left over, but I ran out last night.
Oh, gosh, I don't know. You maybe try the, I don't know if the Laurel County Life Center might have.
Gosh, I don't know. Let me think. What about you?
Something like that. I know they keep some baby items on hand, so you might try there. But I'm not sure what churches help with formula.
Okay. All right. Thank you. They would help feed a starving baby, and right now I'm about to call a Church of Christ. I don't know what that word is, and I'm not going to mess it up. But apparently, it's the name of the town too. So I'm going to try just because it's the name of the town. UNLOVING. Okay, in Kansas. Their About Me says, no, never mind. That's a Facebook review. Never mind. We're just going to call them. Let's see if they would help feed a starving baby.
I'll lead the Church of Christ.
By the way, the little baby crying sound, that's not what they actually hear. That's in the background. That's in a lot of our videos. I will say that is annoying in just the videos, but I get it.
Hi, yeah, I was calling to see if maybe y'all could help with a small can of baby formula.
Now, notice she says with a small can of baby formula. Not rent, not my electric bill, just a small can of baby formula. I don't know if you know this, though, but you really can't turn that into meth. You can't turn it into crack. You can't turn it into hooch or alcohol. It's baby formula. You can't do much with it. So if you can give me a small can of baby formula, you can pretty much trust that I'm going to do with it what I said I'm going to do with it.
Small can of baby formula. We would honestly love to, but I don't know if there's anyone available today to be able to meet you to be able to do that. Our treasurer that takes care of all that, his wife is in the hospital, and he's not available right now. And I'm actually on a trip in Topeka, Kansas.
Okay, so all right, there is some leeway, some latitude. Okay, there's no one there to handle it. I'm actually out of town, so this seems like a small church, but I'm not there. So maybe we offer him some, a little grace in how he's handling this.
So I apologize, but we're not going to be able to help today because we just don't have anyone there.
Okay, like there's nobody that could help us. She's only 2 months old and she hasn't ate since last night.
She hasn't eaten since last night?
No.
Okay. Let me see here. I'm trying to think if there's somebody there that I could call.
Now, I'm not sure how this ends, and I'm not really going to get on him because it seems like he's probably trying to find something or something to do. Now, I would just think, though, this is just me. After receiving the call, this is someone coming to you. And listen, even on YouTube, people try to scam all the time. Hey, want this? I need this. And you see them going from channel to channel to channel, place to place to place. And people say, hey, no, this guy's, and people let you know that, hey, this person right here has been scamming people. Someone gave. And so I'm not speaking about that. But even still, if it's something small, why not just come out of your pocket? Just, you know what? Figure out a way to get some money to somebody there that maybe you don't do that. But I would think that, hey, listen, I'm at work right now, but I get off at such and such time. If you want to meet me over at the grocery store, or tell you what, I can get it to you. You know what? How about we go to Amazon and see? Because sometimes they do same day delivery. I don't know, or if you know what? I'll tell you what I can do. We'll go to Instacart or something like that, and we'll get it there. We'll get it to you. There's different ways you can do. Again, imagine it's your child. Imagine it is your child. Now, for I was hungry, and you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty, and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger, and you invited me in. Naked, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you visited me. I was in prison, and you came to me. Then the righteous will answer him, Lord, when did we see you hungry and feed you, or thirsty and give you something to drink? And when did we see you a stranger and invited you in? He said, when did we see you sick or in prison? The king will answer and say to you, truly, truly, I say to you, to the extent that you did it to the one of these brothers of mine, even to the least of them, you did it to me. Now, that's those who did it. When you do it to them, you do it to me. Certainly, if Jesus showed up and was hungry, you'd feed him because, hey, that's Jesus. Some of us show partiality towards people we know or people that we think more of. But this person calling around for a baby, a 2-month-old. Then what does he say after that? Then he will also say to those on his left, depart from me, accursed ones, into the eternal fire, which has been prepared for the devil and his angels. And this where he goes, where I was hungry, and you gave me nothing to eat. You gave me nothing to eat. There was a 2-month-old who was hungry, and you gave her nothing to eat. And you could have. Now, the good news is, all of the churches didn't respond this way. I think at the last that I saw, it was 10 out of 43 that responded positively. There was even one man who I thought was pretty cool, older guy. They didn't have anything for the church, but he was going to do it for. He was doing it out of his own goodness. He's a pastor who was a grandpa or great grandpa's. God bless grandpas, by the way. Who decided, you know what? No, I'm not going to let this baby be hungry. No. And I don't know if he. I think he decided he was going to meet her or take her shopping or what have you, go get it himself. Because that's what you do. That's what you would want someone to do for you, or imagine your child or your grandchildren. You would want the same thing. We need to do better as a church. We really do. I understand you have things set up to make sure that you can take care of the people, but do you know what God really wants to have to take care of the people? Not some sort of program or department or group of people that they can go to. He wants you individually. When you see someone on the street and they need some money, they ask you for it. I'm not giving this guy my money. I know he's going to turn around and get some drugs with it. That's not what you do. That's not for you to even figure that out. If you know the person's going to do it, but don't assume that. And so, you know what? Walk around with $5 or $10 in cash so that when someone asks you a question, hey, you got $5, you got $10, I think he might be scamming, but you know what? I'll do it anyway. I'll do it anyway. Why? Because I might need someone else's help. I might need someone else's help. And so be ready to be like the people. Be ready to show that you are a Christian. Because if you're not, what good are you? Jesus says you are worthless, good for nothing, to be thrown out and trampled underfoot. Can we stop being worthless Christians and be good to somebody so the world can see that we have love in us, and that love is not just a secret, not a rumor, but it's actually shown and people believe it? And then people will start saying, you know what? Jesus says, let your good works shine. Let your light shine. And then people will see your good work, born out of your love. And then what will they do? They will glorify God. Be that person. You don't have to send someone to this department or that department or down to the city or to this food pantry. If it's something that you can do and it won't cost you anything other than a little bit of time, a little bit of money, do it. Amen.